guys, how you doing? It's Andy Elliott. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to navigate through negotiating with no fight. This is something that every salesperson in the world needs to stop and watch this video from front to back. Why? Because there's a fight in negotiation. There's friction. I watch salesmen every day negotiate deals, and the first thing that I see is the wall starts to come up, this starts to happen, combativeness sets in, and all of a sudden the salesman's re-begging back for their business, negotiating down, or in any case, even if they do close them. If it happens, the customer doesn't see or respect the salesman and feel like that they value them. I want to share with you, there's two hands here. On one hand, you have a 1%er. On the other hand, automatically by default, if you're not a 1%er, you're the other 99%. That's just the way it goes. You have to decide, what are you running towards? Who is it that you want to become? Do you want to be the best negotiator in the world? If you do, you need to keep combativeness, a fight out of it, and keep stress and tension and all that off the table. I'm going to give you 7 things to think about today in order to elevate your game and to really look at yourself and see, man, how good am I at negotiating? This is between you and you today. I want you to think about, really honestly, how great you are about going to the table when you're dealing and negotiating with somebody. Let's start out with number 1. So, think about yourself. If you say these terms, up to, no more than, meet me in the middle, your wife's worth it, reward yourself, any of those things. If you're negotiating and the payment's $300 a month and the customer says, I want to be at $150, and you say, well, could you do up to? Could you do up to maybe, $200, $250? Could you meet me in the middle? Between the $150 where you're at and $300 I'm at, could you meet me in the middle? Maybe do $225? Maybe no more than $250, $225, $250. If that's you, let me explain this to you. I want to stop you dead in your tracks and say, that's been happening for the last 40 years in the car business. Do you think that your people have a history of buying? Do you think that they've bought something before? Yes or no? Yes. Do you think more than likely the salesman the last time sold them a car said something similar, or at the last 5 or 6 places that they went to go buy a car or shop for one or maybe worked a car deal that they dealt with another salesman? Yeah. Do you think that that salesman they dealt with was a 1%er or a 99%er? More than likely a 1%er. Why? Because they're still at your store shopping. If they were a 1%er, they would have sold them. With that being said, you're sounding identical to your competition. If your managers are teaching you up to, no more than, meet me in the middle, reward yourself, your wife's worth it, any of the stupid things that don't really add any value and make customers feel like they can afford more, then guess what? By default, you're falling into the 99% zone, and I want to share this with you. That's why you're broke. The first 90% of the time, you're outside building value, making customers fall in love with you, right? Fall in love with the vehicle. The last 10% of the time when you're inside collecting 100% of the money, does money exchange hands on the lot? No, the money exchanges hands the last 10% of the time when you're doing what? Navigating through the negotiating. Can you collect all the money if you don't keep the fight out of it? No, it doesn't happen. So I want you to look at yourself. Physically, as we're going through this, identify your holes you have and what you need to fix. And we're going to elevate our game in 2020. But number 1, no more. Done. Don't ever do it again. Up to's, no more than, meet me in the middle. If I hear you say another one, I'm going to sock you. Don't say it. Why? Because it's weak and you automatically default into the other 99% with the other salesmen that are asleep at the wheel across the street. Is that who you want to be competing with? No. Crush those guys. Don't ever say those words again. Okay. Just saying anything that basically like up to, no more than, meet me in the middle, does that make the customer feel like they can afford more? If I say, guys, could you meet me in the middle between this and this? Does that make the customer feel like they can afford more? I mean, does it make me feel like I can afford more? No. It makes me feel like a raw negotiation tactic, right? That's been around for a long time. That's a tacky car salesman close that you think you're just going to blurt something out and then I'm going to give you more money. Well, guess what? Not going to happen. And then guess what? they probably had a bad experience with another salesman somewhere else before who said something just like that because it's been around for so long, and now all of a sudden you remind them real fast of that person. And they're like, man, now you went from being a winner to a loser that fast. So, if anything you're going to say during the negotiation doesn't make the customer feel like they can afford more, save it. You're wasting your time. It isn't going to advance the sale. Matter of fact, it's going to hurt your sale. And as a salesperson, if you're wanting to elevate your game, take these bad habits and get rid of them. All right, does it help the customer respect you more? If I say up to, no more than, meet me in the middle, does this help the customer respect you more? No. Matter of fact, it makes them respect you less. When's the last time you went and spent money with somebody and literally you were just blown away? Like, they were just amazing. They gave you reasons and excuses why you should afford it, right? And maybe you even tried for a better deal. You were like, well, I think we should get a better deal. There's got to be a better deal, right? There's got to be a better deal. No, and listen, and they neutralized the situation. They said no, and I appreciate that. And guess what? I do the same thing as you're doing right now when I buy something. I get that. That's awesome. But I want to explain this to you, okay? And guess what? They neutralize it. They close you. There's no fight, okay? Guess what happens? You spend your money. You respect the salesperson when you leave. Matter of fact, you'll go back there again. You ended up paying all the money for what you bought, and you appreciate them and value them as a businessman. Because when you told them no, they didn't hit you with the, could you do up to, no more than, meet me in the middle? Do you guys start to understand what it is that I'm saying? We have to change the way that we're negotiating, we're doing business with people. Because all the other salesmen that are around you, most of them are so weak, this is going to be very easy to do. This simple little shift will change your life in negotiating 100%. I want to beat the car salesman out of you and turn you into an investor and an advisor. Now listen to me. Let's go on to number 4. Does number 1, if you say this, help the customer see you as someone special, like an investor that they can trust or take advice from? No, we just talked about that. Or does it show them you're like every other salesman? It shows them you're like everyone else. If you say you're not, be careful with your words. Now that we know what the competition's bad habits are, we're done with them. From now on, we're going to be smooth. You know what we do? It's real simple. We be the 1%. What does the 1% do? 1%, the customers will experience being okay with paying all the money and being happy about spending it too. Why? Because they met a 1%er. Look at this. See this right here? This is the 1%er here. If you're not going to be here, by default, you automatically drop to the bottom 99%. There's nothing you can do to prevent it. That's just where you go. With that being said, don't sound like anyone else. No sneaky tricks needed. Become a master closer. Guys, I talk to you all the time about becoming a master closer. Change your game. The difference between where you are now and where you want to go is the gap in your skill set. Okay? Everything you want in life is right on the other side of being uncomfortable. Remember those two things. One, it reminds me that you have to constantly get more skill every single day. Number 2, it reminds me that in order to retain and receive more skill and get better, that it's going to be a grind. I'm going to share with you, and somebody sent me a text today, and it reminded me, we're all running for something, right? Everybody is. Do gazelles run? Yeah. Yeah, gazelles run for their life. Do lions run? Yeah. Lions run to eat the gazelle. You have to decide right now. You're going to make a run either way. Are you running like a gazelle? Or are you running like a lion? And if you tell me you're running like a lion, you'll be here at the 1%. If you want to get better at closing and you want to learn to be a master closer and learn money justification and learn to never have to negotiate again with combativeness and literally be one of the top closers in the country, send me a text message. I'll help you. 918-210-0254. All you have to say, just text me, I want to be one of the best closers in the world. I'll start helping you. Guys, have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon.